Hi everyone. Today's a great day to talk about one of the topics that I mentioned before, goal setting. It's a great day because actually the best reason is because it's very, very, very important. And second good reason is because my sister is graduating today. Actually, she's walking today. So she spent many years, she set the goal and she worked hard to get there. She's not the first person doing it, of course. You all have done. You set goals in your mind and work hard to achieve it. Some of them, most of them actually with unconsciously. And then there's also another kind, which is your conscious mind is working on your goals to help you to achieve your goals. I've been through a lot and I've set many goals in my life and I reached majority of them, starting from running away from my country just coming here to United States. That was one of the biggest goals. And so I went through 7 countries. Me and my wife, we crossed the borders until from the first country in the United States was the 7th country. See, we walked through borders. So it was just tough. It was very tough. So we did it with unconsciously. We didn't have conscious mind. We did the steps. When I'm thinking about the difference between a conscious mind and unconscious mind, when you're working through to get to your goals, there's a big difference. And then however, in that case that was pretty close. Coincidentally, I don't know, I wasn't aware of the techniques and the process of how you get to your goals. So I'm going to go briefly through the steps and processes, very briefly. And I do this through my course. I'm not a psychologist or anything, but this is very important. It's not about only business. It is very important for anything that you do in your life, anything that we want to achieve. It could be a relationship, it could be marriage problems, or you set a goal in your mind and then whatever it is and work hard at it. It could be financial or it could be any physical fitness goals that you have, so health goals that you have. So that process applies to everything. I'm not a psychologist, as I said, but I've read lots of books, lots of books, and I've studied many successful people, and one common thing was among them was setting a goal, and they were setting a big goal in their life. Some of them, they said unrealistic goals but achievable. So they made unrealistic. Lots of people were telling them this is not realistic, you cannot do it. They called dream stealers. So when they set up a big goal, achievable goal, big goals, they went through the process until they made it. It's hard. It needs commitment. You need to commit, you need to be persistent, you need to work through the process every day until you get it. You don't need to know about the how you're gonna do it, and then you're just gonna take one step at a time. When I read about this, when I heard about this, I quickly found a correlation between this idea of goal setting in your mind and engineering. With my background, I saw, oh, this is the same. When you have a engineering project, you start with the conceptual stage of it. It's just conceptual. Nothing makes sense if you think about it. You can bring lots and lots of objections. Who has that? Millions of questions come up with the conceptual stage of a project. And then after you go through, work it out, you're going to reach a planning stage of the project. Again, in the planning stage, you don't know anything about the detail. You can ask millions of questions about the detail and they cannot answer it. until when they're done with the planning stage, then they jump into detail design of the project. And after that, they implement that and test that. And if it's required, again, they make more adjustment. They go back and change the design a little bit and then test it again. If it doesn't work again, they come back and change it and then again test it and implement it. So it's the same thing, but we do it in our mind. It is very important. It has lots and lots of advantages when you do it in your mind. So when you're going to go through the process of doing that, you're going to think it, visualize it in your mind about your goal. And what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? You need to make it big, unrealistic, and big, because you need a motivation. Big goals come up with lots of obstacles on the way, and then to pass those obstacles, you need to have motivation. So make it a goal with a good motivation to achieve it. And then when you're stuck, just remember about the motivation, what you're going to gain at the end, what's glory at the end, what is the heaven that you're reaching to. So that's why be persistent, keep working on it, always visualize it, think about it, put yourself into a position that you have already gained it, you have already reached to your goal, and look at it from that angle. Whatever you want to achieve, assume that you have already achieved, and look at it from that perspective. You are already there, and then work it back. See what you've done that you get there. And then I told you there are lots of advantages. One great advantage is many of us, when we want to do something tough, lots of internal objections just stop us from doing it. Lots of them. I cannot do that. I don't want to do that. I don't feel it. This is not my thing. Like just one of them, I'm in front of the camera. That was one of the biggest objections that I had, staying in front of the camera and recording myself. Never been into this kind of stuff. Actually, I was for my touring business years ago, but I still had difficulty. And once it was a corner show, they were recording. I got dizzy. I was about to fall from the chair. So it's hard, but you know what? Just visualize the things the goals that you have, and then things that you need to do. You start from conceptual stage, and then the more you think about it, the more ideas are going to come to you. And then those ideas, with your practice, consistent daily practice, those ideas are going to be more clear to you what to do. And then that's how you're going to reach to detail of the how to do. And that's the time that those objections are going to go away. Like my example, if I had hard time to come up in front of the camera and do this recording, or someone else who has difficulty to do public speaking, that's just an example. Visualize that you are doing public speaking. Every day visualize it. Just make it a morning ritual. Meditate. Put yourself into the place that you are already doing it. You are in front of thousands of people, hundreds of people, and you have your speech. You have a public speaking speech. And then you just visualize it. People are there, you're talking, topics, what are the topics that you're going to talk? And then you start and then finish. Do it every day. The more you'll see it, the more you do it, it is going to become more and more and more clear to you. And initially you're going to see it blurrish, but after time, after it goes on, after more practicing, you'll see that it's more clear to you. And then that's the time that you can do public speaking. Like me, that's the time that I can come in front of the camera and just do this in recording. So same thing with the big goals. When you do big goals, you have obstacles in front. Oh, I cannot do that. I don't want to do that. I don't have this power. It's not you, it's your mindset. Your mind thinks that he's not capable of doing it because you set that up like that. Now you're shifting it. Now you're shifting your mind that your mind is capable of doing it. Why? Because you're playing the game with your mind. You're tricking your mind. You're tricking how? By doing it. By doing it in your mind, and your mind doesn't tell you you're doing it in reality. You're just thinking about it. So when you think about it, actually it means that you've done it in reality. So next time when you want to do it in reality, your mind doesn't object, and mind is ready to control and just put you into the path. So about this goal setting, there's a lot to say. I've read a lot and I've listened lots of audios and lots of videos, and I've read lots of successful people talking about it. I can talk about, but that's enough for just the purpose of this recordings, like 5 to 10 minutes. If you want to have more ideas, there are lots of sources outside that you can get it. You can email me, PM me. I'm going to give you sources. And in my courses, it's just marketing, business coaching that I teach people that how to do high ticket sales. Basically, it's just marketing, but there are things that they need to overcome their objections, and they need to set up their goals and stuff. So I talk about this kind of stuff, and we practice in our coaching programs. So this is a Sunday. I have to jump on another video I have for my enrichment center, my tutoring center, and then I have to go to this commencement ceremony. Stay well. Take care. Bye.